The horizon glowed with the first hints of sunrise, casting hues of red, orange, and pink as darkness retreated. Sarah Montgomery sipped coffee from a tin cup, the crackling campfire offering warmth against the early morning chill. "You're up early?" Sarah turned her attention away from the sky to Henry Fairbanks. He'd been a father figure to her ever since her own father had become a useless drunk and abandoned her at 15. "Couldn't sleep," Sarah answered, taking another swig of her coffee, the smell of the dark roast pleasantly tickling her nose. Henry lowered his 6'3" frame onto the log beside her. As always, he was impeccably dressed. A black and tan paisley shirt with pewter buttons beneath a tan waistcoat, black trousers, and polished brown boots, untouched by mud. His black sack coat hid the dual pistols at his waist, and his black derby hat served both as fashion and a mask for his receding hairline. Despite his age, his thick mustache remained black and waxed to perfection. "Me neither." Henry poured himself a generous cup of coffee, refilled Sarah's, and then sat back in silence, both of them soaking in the morning air as the woods around them slowly came alive. "Look there." Sarah nudged Henry with her elbow, as she pointed at 2 squirrels jabbering at the base of a ponderosa pine tree. Henry chuckled. "Looks like the little one's getting scolded." They watched as the larger squirrel scurried up the trunk, glanced back with a glare, and disappeared into the branches. The smaller squirrel waited a beat before following, stopping at a notch in the tree to retrieve an acorn. The larger squirrel returned, practically flying down the trunk, its high-pitched squeaks interrupting the morning birdsongs. The smaller squirrel abandoned the half-eaten acorn and scrambled up the tree. Sarah and Henry both laughed. "What's so funny?" The grating voice of Dwight Harris Fairbanks immediately killed the levity. He stood right outside the flap of his tent, wearing only his union suit and a pair of scuffed roper boots, looking irritated at being awoken before the sun was even over the horizon. Harris, as he preferred to be called, was no more than 20, with straw-colored hair long enough to hide his oversized ears. Ears Sarah was certain earned him plenty of ridicule. His long nose and baby-fat cheeks gave him a youthful look, and the peach fuzz on his upper lip made it clear he hadn't yet grown into adulthood. His green eyes, however, were the only feature he'd inherited from Henry. "Nothing, son," Henry replied, draining his mug and shaking any remaining droplets to the ground. Muttering, Harris strode toward the fire and plopped down beside Henry, grabbing a camping mug from the stack and tipping the carafe over. Only a few drops came out, not enough to fill even a thimble. "We're out of coffee," he groused, glaring at Sarah. "And?" she asked, deliberately taking an exaggerated sip from her own mug. "Make some more?" Sarah narrowed her eyes.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.